Say, can you see by the dawn's early light? It's 4th of July. Be Pride Month. It's 4th of July. My other video goes up today. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Yeah, sketchbook tour. I filled this in a month. I'm quite happy with it. I adore this sketchbook. I think filling it in a month was perfect for me. Fueled my art love. If you have not done a 1-month sketchbook before and you have some free time and the will to do it, I would highly recommend doing it. It's super fun. But yeah, this is my sketchbook. A lot of these came from Amazon sticker packs, which I would not recommend buying from because I'm pretty sure they all steal art from artists. I regret purchasing and supporting that, but I already have them, so we gotta use them, guys. We gotta use them. From a friend, also from a different sticker pack. Milky Tomato sticker. I don't remember this artist's name off the top of my head, but I'll put it on screen. They're on Etsy. And then this is another Milky Tomato one. And this is an art creation sketchbook. If you're curious, I love these sketchbooks. They're just, I really like the warm tone paper. So every sketchbook I start with a self-portrait. This is no different, but I feel like with the last few, and even in the sketchbook I just started, I have a really hard time with the first page in a way that I haven't had for a while up until recently. With this one, I just kind of went in with no expectations, just did it, and I love it. And I think it sets a good tone for the sketchbook. Just, I went in, no expectations, ended up loving what I made. Awesome. I love that. And it's hard to make yourself have no expectations for things. Started on May 29th and finished on June 27th. So I finished it in a little under a month, but this was a doodle thing I saw on TikTok. Do hatches and then you just round out the edges of where they overlap, and then you get this cool effect, and I really like this. These are the goals. I'll go over those at the end. I was wanting to design a bleeding hearts tattoo for myself, so I was referencing other artists online and what they've done for their bleeding hearts tattoos. I really like this spread, but I think I'm gonna go with a style more similar to this. I'll design my own tattoo. These were just other people's stuff. Still on day one, I did this. I've been watching with one of my family members the show The Closer. I don't know if there's like a fan base for it or anything, but I like the show. I watch it with my family member every once in a while. I drew Brenda Lee Johnson. I don't remember either their character names. I know that this is J.K. Simmons. Don't look at it. It does not look like him. I don't remember this actor's name or his character name, but I really like how this turned out. I think that looks like him. But I did these on day 2 and this on day 1. More day 2 stuff. I got a whale shark jelly cat, and the amount of effort it took to get this stupid jelly cat, I had to go to the store like 3 separate times to try and get him. I'm glad I achieved getting him, and to honor his legacy, I sketched him a few times in here and took a picture of me holding him and drew me with him. I like this whole spread. Very pleased with it. Here is villains. I was thinking about my OC Bruce, and I was thinking of, okay, give him a new name, first of all, because he used to be a girl named Bree, and I had not given him a new name, but I wanted to give him a BR name, so Bruce it is. Taking notes on other villains I like and what about them maybe has drawn me in, and kind of trying to make an interesting main villain, but I don't know, I still have to think about him more. This is just like the first sketches of me trying to work more on figuring him out. I drew Ko and Reese. These are 2 of my OCs. They're in the same universe as him. I try to give a little bit of context every time I talk about my characters, just because I know this is my character this and this is my character this isn't super helpful. I really like this drawing. It was from a pose on Pinterest. I just think they look sad and sorrowful, and I used alcohol markers to do this. Sketchbook tour thumbnails for my last sketchbook tour. Because I filled this in a month, all of June felt so dense. Like, it felt like there was so much stuff that happened in the beginning of June. Feels like forever ago. So I look at these thumbnails, I'm like, those feel old. Especially because I made another video in between. Here are my thumbnails, just kind of thinking of what I wanted to do. And then what I usually do with thumbnails is I do a good few, and then I pick my favorites and I try them, and I didn't like this one, but I really like this one. I loved this one from the start, but I feel like maybe people don't really like it just because that video did not perform as well as my other ones, but it's not like I perform that great on YouTube anyways. This was the sticker somebody gave me that I was like, I'm never gonna put this on a sketchbook, but I will put it in here. And I drew myself as a shark. I love doodling sharks recently. I just like that I just gave him glasses and I was like, yep, that's me, that's me. These were some bleeding hearts because I was thinking about my bleeding hearts tattoo. Pressed them and I was deeply shocked when they were not vibrant pink. Hey, they're dead. Hey, they're dead and they've just been compressed. So I don't know what you thought was gonna happen. Another doodle of one just because now I had a cool reference. I really like how it adds to the spread. I had these pants that I got from the bins now cut into jorts and I was gonna add star patches onto them and then I lost interest. So this is a trend in a lot of artist sketchbooks to do this, but they take a couple colors and they'll make shapes on the page and they'll try to make things out of it. This time I did that, but I did it with just trying to make sharks and I love it. I put my jelly cat tag in here. I think it makes the page really cute, but this one's my favorite. This one just looks like a stuffed animal I have of a shark. A little doodle of me before I went to the beach. I was going to visit a friend this day and I was going to be visiting a friend, so I was like, okay, I'm not gonna have a lot of time to draw. I decided, how about we just do a nice little sticker page, just a spread knocked out of the way with a bunch of stickers. This is the result of that. And then that same day when I was driving home, I got pulled over for speeding, and so this is kind of the comic zoned out. Suddenly I'm like, huh, there's an officer. How fast am I going? I look down, oh, a nice 15 miles per hour over the speed limit, going 70 and a 55, and I was like, shit. And then I'm looking in my rearview mirror, I'm going, please, 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 please. And then I see the police officer do a little U-turn, and I go, God damn it. So, you were going 55 and a 70, and I'm like, yeah, sorry. Guys, when he asked for my ID, I accidentally gave him a Visa gift card instead. And he's like, not that. And I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. Anyways, I was thinking about the show The Bear. I have not watched season 4. Do not tell me about it. I can't believe that show has 4 seasons already. In my head, it has 1. I was thinking about Iowa Debris and Jeremy Allen White in that show, and I was like, I'm gonna draw both of them on this page, and it's gonna be really cool. Immediately stressed myself way too much. These first drawings of Iowa Debris look ugly as fuck. Don't look at them. And I did these two, and I felt better. And then this Jeremy Allen White is so bad, but I really like it. This is a certain style I do another time in the sketchbook where I just draw a man. You just kind of draw him so simply, quite capture what he is and what is wrong with him. After thinking about Carmi and Sid from The Bear, I had to draw my OCs, Ko and Aaron, in shots from The Bear as Sid and Carmi because I love platonic soulmates. I also kind of see Sid and Carmi as maybe more than platonic, but these two are platonic. Well, yes. Well, yes, they are, but not fully. I love to not say anything. I love to say so much, but so little. This is my second time filming this. If you couldn't tell, I'm trying to have more energy, and I'm losing my voice at a rapid pace. These were from a while ago. I taped them in because I didn't have anywhere else to put them, and I like them and they're stupid, so I wanted them to be in here. More taping in stuff. These green sticky notes, all from me censoring stuff in my last sketchbook. Doodles that I just taped in. The next day, an event I was going to, and I was really worried I wasn't going to be able to get a lot of stuff done, but I mean, to be fair, at most points in the sketchbook, I was pretty far ahead. Like, there was a lot of days where I'm like, I could just take today off. I would still definitely get this done in time, and I wouldn't be behind at all if I took a day off. So, but this is day 7, and I was like, I'll just bring my sketchbook with me if I have time. I had so much time. I was surprised by how much time I had. I drew this lady that was sitting next to me. I drew this photo from when I hung out with my friend days prior. This was at the event. I was just drawing more stuff, doodling some people I saw there. Nothing very interesting. Here I drew my dog. And here's a good example of I was far enough ahead. This whole spread is all I did that day. And then this is Dawn and her dog. I really like the thought of her having a big Borzoi dog. I love those dogs. Yeah, day 9. See, 1 spread. The average I was supposed to do is about 5 spreads a day. I don't know if I've said that already, or 5 pages a day, I should say. And I went quite far ahead. Doodled myself, because that's what I draw when I don't really know what to draw. It's just me. I was drawing sharks. I just looked up exaggerated cartoony sharks because I kind of wanted to play around with that, but I don't really like either of them. This one's kind of funny, but I don't really like this one. And then this is Joe Goldberg from You. This is what I was kind of talking about with drawing a man just so simply, but it just looks like him. Like, to me, that looks just like Penn Bailey. I love this spread. So I was just having an itch to use acrylic markers, and I started by drawing June, Ginger Ninja OWO, their OC cat, and I went, I don't want to draw that. I had this idea for a piece in my head for a while of, and this isn't quite that, but I had this idea of a butch woman with a cowboy hat and a shirt open, like a plaid shirt open like this, and you can see side boob sag, and that she has big pants on. But this is of me. This was a self-portrait, therefore it is not a butch woman. It's not a butch woman because I'm not either of those. Yeah, these are Dawn, my OC Dawn. I love these sketches of her so much. Just also with acrylic marker. These are the grabby bullet nib ones. I really like grabby stuff. I don't know if they're problematic, but I like grabby's art supplies. But I like this of Dawn. I like this of Dawn. This is her when she's younger and her when she's older. I love her design. I need to draw her more. All of my characters, I'm always just like, I need to draw you more. Why am I not drawing you more? And I feel bad. And then Ko. I draw Ko probably the most out of any character. I just love them. Look at their stupid, dumb face. Stupid Dom. Here I was designing a tattoo for somebody for free, and they pissed me off, so I didn't thinking of my bleeding heart tattoo again, and I wrote heaven, and I was like, I don't think that's how you spell heaven. That's not how you spell heaven, I'm pretty sure. And then I looked it up and I was like, yep, I need an A in there. So when I was showing the sketchbook to somebody, they're like, what's heathen? What's the heathen stuff about? I'm like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And this is me, Ko, and Reese. I got this brush pen that I was using for this page a little bit. It bleeds pretty bad on this paper, but it was fun to mess around with and I really like it. So here's powder. I just wanted to do a little bit of fan art and just turn my brain off, and I really like this sketch. I just think it looks so good. I really love the colors of it and I just quite like it. And then I was gonna draw older powder, but for one, detail in that design, too much. We don't need that much detail, guys. Tone it down. We are getting into Hasman Hotel territory of too much detail and your animators are crying. Stop. I didn't want to draw all that detail, and I also just didn't like how the sketch was going anyways, so I went, we don't need to do it. We don't need to do it. Here I drew my OC, Tyler. I love her. She's my emo baddie.
We're dressed to impress with my baddie.
I always forget to draw her, and I need to draw her more. I wrote, I won't forget about my emo baddie. If you guys wanted to draw fan art for her, because you guys love me so much, and you like drawing any variation of Y2K or emo fashion, draw her. She is, her entire vibe is just any form of Y2K or emo fashion, and you can go ham. Here is day 11. I have these crayons that I really like, but I never use, so I made an effort on this day to actively use them for something. So I drew a Victorian house here, and then I drew a great blue heron here. I put this piece of wax paper in between just because times it messes the other page up when you do that. Day 12, this was a super fun art day. I had Chinese food the night prior, and I just cut the wonton bag design out and put it in here. It's really off-brand Chinese food. Like, I'm not gonna even pretend it was even remotely authentic. But and then I put in my fortune cookies, and I was like, oh, it'd be so fun to like write day 12 in Mandarin, so I did that here. I don't know, I wish this page was more aesthetically pleasing than it is. And then I drew some young dawns. If anything looks different, it's because I just took like a 2-hour break. This page, I really love this. This was just based on a Pinterest reference photo of these two women, I believe, kissing. Very cute. Very cute. I really liked it. Feet. Ugh, I hate drawing feet. I don't hate it. I feel like sometimes feet add a lot to a pose in the same way that hands do. I hate how these turned out. The feet itself are fine. It's more so just like the calf into the foot here looks weird, and this foot looks janky, and so does this. I just don't like it. These are fine. I liked these ones. I think these turned out really good. I got in a really interesting mood. I really wanted to do a bunch of scenery studies, which is something I never do, but I really liked it here. I hope I get back to it in my current sketchbook because it's just another fun thing to draw, and it's another thing that isn't just the same few subjects over and over again. Yeah, so these were both from Pinterest. I really like this one. I used the same brush pen from earlier as the line art, and I think it gave it this cool kind of loose style, and I just really like how this turned out. And this one too, even though it's kind of limited by the fact that it's so simple with just black and white. It is what it is. This I like, this I don't. Another Pinterest reference, some diner. I really like drawing it. I like that you can tell that this is probably a vinyl seat cover, and I don't know, it was simple and it was pretty easy to get down, and I feel like I'm at a level in my skill with art where I can draw anything to a somewhat effective degree if I put an effort in. Here's an example of that. I used to not really be able to do this. Here I had a Camp Rock Jonas Brothers agenda, and it came with all these stickers that are very fun. I was holding on to them for so long, and I was like, it truly doesn't make sense to keep these around, so I ended up just putting them on the back of this bleed through page. Self-portrait, as is my usual. Pam from The Office, because I think about that quote quite frequently. I was sitting with somebody and then they left to go sit inside, and it was like a super sunny day. I was trying to get my tan on. As you can tell, it hasn't really worked. Drawing just what was in front of me, it was pretty nice. There's just this chair and this tree, and I really liked it. A little self-portrait that I kind of gave up on because I messed up too much and it bugged me. I love this spread. Even though it's really kind of hard to look at, I like it. There's this tiger. I use those like rainbow pencils that have all the different colored leads in them. So when you draw, it just gives you a kind of a random color as you're drawing. I love how the tiger came out. The leopard a little less so. I don't know how this one turned out so like colorful and fun and this one feels more muddy. I just think it's something about the stripes versus the dots, but I really like it. I kind of wish I did this in a less intense way. It's kind of hard to look at, I'll just skip it. This is when Grabby sent me their erasable gel pens to make a TikTok out of. Did swatches and then I was playing around with them. I actually would recommend these. Like, I'm not getting paid to say any of this. I genuinely would recommend getting them. They're pretty fun to use. As someone who really just likes going in with pen for things, nice that now I have an option to sketch in pen and erase. I just don't like graphite. Bruce again, back from earlier in the sketchbook, I really wanted to give more of a finalness to his design. I was really struggling, but then I was like, what if I based him off of an actor? What if I gave him like a general person to base him off of? I feel like that's a good way for me to gravitate him towards the kind of vibe I want. So if you can tell who this is, let me know. I don't want to say who it is. I just want people to guess and figure it out. But I feel like you can tell. This photo gives it away. Yeah, Bruce, and then Bruce and Cassidy. Yeah, they're married, but she's a lesbian. It's not in like a cute lesbian way. It's in a suppressing your identity way. Here, more playing around with those grabby pens. I drew World, the YouTuber. I quite like them. I've been watching them a bit. I went to the dentist and they were like, we have this box of toys, and I was like, yay, toys! Me, literally a legal adult, yay, toys! I like toys. I got Play-Doh and I got Lilo and Stitch stickers, and I wrote, girl Stitch feels like propaganda Disney adults were falling for, because she does. I don't think she has any lore. To me, she doesn't even make sense in the story. I don't know what her context is in the lore. I have not seen like the Stitch 2, if there is one of those, but I just am positive that her ass just has been created so that Stitch could potentially have a love interest, and or for Disney to sell merch of a girl version of Stitch so that little girls can buy more Stitch-esque stuff, and then they can just reuse the same model and make it pink and give it little antenna things and eyelashes, and they'd be done. Anyway, this is my OC Chandler. I never draw him. Sorry. This is my OC Kate. I never draw her either, especially with her buzz cut. I neglect to draw that version of her. I just kind of went ham putting those Lilo and Stitch stickers everywhere. These dogs were from Pinterest. This one looks fucked up. This one is my dog again. I draw him all the time. This dog I drew with my left hand, and this one was a blind contour, but I kept cheating by looking down. I really kind of like this page. It's very simple, but I quite enjoy it. This was for the official TikTok I made after playing with the grabby pens. I kind of just wanted some time to get used to how they worked before I made a video of them, and this is what I did. That video performed pretty well for me, so I was like, yes, Grabby's gonna appreciate me. Here's the halfway spread. I was quite anxious this day. I just needed to move my hands. I grabbed 2 markers, did this. Later I realized that this was the halfway spread, so it's kind of an underwhelming halfway spread, but it is what it is, and I think that's kind of representative of the sketchbook in a way. Like, the halfway spread isn't going to be great, and that's okay. Here is my OC Ethel. I love him. This was figured out his design a couple sketchbooks back. I created him. I never really was super satisfied with his design. I never like sat down and really did real sketching and planning out for his design. These were my first things. I was kind of thinking about what I wanted. This was kind of like what his old hair used to look like. Tried out some different hairstyles here. I kind of went with something similar to this. Here was kind of me finalizing a little bit of his design. These are transparent sticky notes. I almost never use these. I really need to find more purposes for them, but I drew just his body first, and then I drew their clothes on top of it. I really like that effect, and I love how the pants look. And then this is kind of more of what he looks like. I changed his design a little bit from here, but this is the general gist of it. I love them. They just look so cute. Older Ethel, I think of them in two major parts of the story, and it's when they first meet this other character and when this character gets a lot older, nearing the end of their story arc. This is them with their hair up and all that. I think I love him. I love him. I love him. And I love this drawing of him. I decided to change their pants into shorts just to give it more of a youthful look, for there to be more of a change when they got older. I like giving little shifts to things like that in my designs. This is a uniform, and these two characters also work at the same place but in different time periods of the thing. This is my like wagons, my dwagon story. But this is Casper. I love him. I neglect to draw him, even though every time I draw him, I'm like, I love this man. Uniforms, Ethel, I love you. This is Casper, and this is his dad. I just like to also see the personality I could give to these different designs, even when they're all in the same general uniform. Like, how would they make it different? They all have to have the white button-ups. They all have to have like this little like waist thing. They have to have like the square dots on their pants. The second season of Tires came out, so I started to watch that, and then I just drew Shane Gillis, thinking I was going to draw all of them, and then I was like, Shane Gillis is the only one I think I have any interest in drawing. He's the only one with an interesting enough of a face. This is something I saw on Pinterest, and I keep giggling about it because it's stupid. Shut the what? It's so dumb. I really like it. This was the start of my shark Sona personification thing. I just made a whale shark mermaid, and I adore this design. I just love doodling it. It's very fun. At some point I need to make some sort of explanation for my OCs, because we get to spreads like this that I adore, but nobody gets them like I get them because it's so related to the lore. I adore this spread. So this is Cassidy, this is Bruce, Bello Bruce. The more you look at him, the more you have to know who he is. Yeah, I just really love this whole spread. It makes me super happy. I think it just looks great. I'm obsessed with it. Here I was doodling. I was watching YouTube, just kind of trying to think of stuff to draw, and I was drawing Pretty Please Don't Make Me Become a Magical Girl, and I was drawing the main character from it. Shin, I saw that they were retiring from their YouTube channel. Fair enough. I think they were probably like 16 when they started making videos, but so I drew I was drawing just from their videos, and I will say those videos are probably what got me into art, so I have a deep appreciation for them. But I rewatch them and I go, in my head as a kid, I thought these were literally like realistic styled artwork. Like, I thought this was literally beautiful, most famous, so awesome, so talented. I literally thought it was like the peak of art watching Shin's animatics as a kid, and I watch them now, I'm like, it's very obvious that a teenager made these, and it's fine that that's the case, but it's just funny that as a kid I was like, this is literally Picasso. This is literally Picasso. Day 19. I was thinking of the song Let Down by Radiohead a lot. Drew myself because I think I was kind of sad, and I drew Cassidy. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I love it. I basically sketched it all out in pencil. Then I went with a yellow marker and just did a wash of it, and then I went over it with colored pencil, and I love this. It just has such a good vibe to it that I really like. Then here's day 20. I had this idea for a kind of animated short series idea in my head, and after designing the characters, I immediately lost interest. But these are the two main love interests. I really like them. I just kind of wanted to make a dorky trans guy and a beautiful woman be a cute couple. This was the result of that, and I was just playing around with it, but I don't know, I just kind of lost interest, and I don't really have that much ambition, I think, right now to make this project. I was kind of having a rough art time. Here's day 21. I thought of thumbnailing like an animatic idea, and then even at the beginning of thumbnailing I was like, I don't have interest. I just had no interest in art for a little bit here. This video has been absolutely ridiculously difficult to get done filming. I don't know why. I did one recording, went through the whole sketchbook. I felt like I wasn't talking in a way that showed any passion. I thought I was dumb. I had to refilm it. Then halfway through the refilm, my throat started to hurt because, hey, I've been talking for an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. Then I started recording again. My phone storage got full, and now here we are, a day later. Sketchbook tour should take like max an hour for me to film, so I'm getting sick of it. I don't even know where I left off, but I don't care about this page anymore. I'm just gonna talk about this one. I like this drawing. I riding in on a horse to school in a flood. It's just simple and cute. I really like it. I was having a weird art time during this period. I'm kind of in that again now. I've just been having a weird art moment. All my characters, they're the main characters of this story. I really like this Ko. I like this Finn. I hate this Reese. I don't even need to go over it. I just like the Kos because I love Ko. Apollo, I am a huge fan of Ginger Ninja OWO. I feel like I mention June in almost every video. I love them, and I had to draw some Apollo. Here I drew a little comic of Reese saying, Ko, I'm in lesbians with you, and Ko just going, what? I like this doodle of them, especially Ko. I worked to try and make them androgynous even when they dress femininely, and I like it. And then here were some critique notes at work, and I was just doodling because we were overstaffed and there was nobody coming in. So here I also drew a little sharks, and then Ko. It's just what I draw. I drew my cat, and my cat is quite literally in the exact same position as she is in this drawing. She likes to lay in this bed that I have right next to my desk when I work, and she just sits there and sleeps the entire time I work. So I drew her, and then my dog came in, and so I drew him. They don't really like each other, but sometimes they coexist in my room. After that critique, I was thinking about these two pieces and how I feel like they could work into a new series, and I was just kind of trying to think of new ideas for what I would do with that. Just move on because I don't know if I want to keep that in. Here I did that thing where you take multiple different colors and you just make shapes, and then you try to make shapes out of it. I love this little guy. I love him. I always end up with a character kind of like that, where they have very funky proportions. A lot of times you just get really fun characters out of it, and I would love to, like, maybe one day I'll do these and just make characters and try and make a little story for them. I don't know. But I really like this dinosaur. I feel like this was a really good creative exercise. Like, a lot of times I do these and I don't love them so much, but this one I feel like I got pretty creative with a few of them. There's usually a mushroom though. I feel like that's just very common. Oops. This of Reese, I like it. I think it's just kind of cute. Here I was trying to figure out Aaron's fashion a little bit more. Also drew him using his powers. I was going to do little doodles of all my characters using their powers to explore that, but I lost interest very quickly. And then I was thinking of this print I wanted to make, and I got sad because I don't have access to a printmaking studio right now. Here I censored this out just because you could kind of see the back of the receipt a little bit, but I wrote, thinking about how my dog lays on the floor instead of in his bed so he can be closer to me, and I love my dog so much. And I drew myself crying and hugging him and him looking perplexed. But I drew him more, and I drew myself crying because of how much I love him. He's just the sweetest heart. This was around the time Brokeback Mountain got back into theaters, and everybody online was posting and talking about it, and I was thinking of this scene with my own characters just because they have a affair going on, if you will, that it is reminiscent of Brokeback Mountain, but not necessarily in the same tragic, well, it is. I don't need to get into it. Either way, I was just like, let me put Ethel in the space of Jack. So more doodles. This is day 26. I just had the urge to, again, girl, where are they? I had the urge to use those crayons again, and I was thinking of this dog in my head for them, and I was like, you know what, I'll just try it and see if it looks good, and I really like this spread. I just think it's very fun. I love the red collar and the red text, and I was thinking of this comedian who was talking about dogs, and he goes, in children's books, they say woof woof or bark bark, but bow wow? When have you ever heard a dog say anything similar to bow wow? I just was like, that would be funny to put as the text here. And I just think it's kind of fun. I like this spread. Here, I was planning the sketchbook thumbnail for this video. I had 30 pages left and I was already anticipating the end. I think I kind of got a little sick of it around, I don't know if sick of it, I think it was just kind of like, I had other creative projects and I just was enthusiastic about getting it done. Not in necessarily, oh, this is dragging on for so long. I just was ready to do the next big thing. I'm gonna go with this thumbnail, something similar to this at least, but yeah, I do my small thumbnails and then size them up. I drew my Sona just in regular outfits, and then I was thinking, what if I wore a shark onesie? Did a little bit more of that, and then I was thinking of my mermaid whale shark design. Still adore this design. I want to do more with it. I love it so much. And then I have these shorts that say bite me with a shark on them, so I doodled me wearing them. I really like making my Sona kind of sharky, and I kind of want to keep pursuing that. And here was a day where I was a little bit in a bad mood. I feel like if you see a drawing of me with top scars or with a mustache or both, just know I'm not having a good day that day. If you see me actively drawing that, check in on me. Yeah, this is just some doodles. I really love this blue pen with the orange background. It's quite pleasing to my eyes. And then I was at work and we listened to the old music radio and it had Father Figure playing, and I was just thinking Megan Thee Stallion. If you know, you know. I think I was watching June's live stream and somebody asked like what would their characters, who would they pick as their Mario Kart main in their OCs? I was like, what would my characters pick? And I went, Reese would pick Daisy because she's orange and Reese is a lesbian, so that's gonna. Poe would pick Dry Bones because Dry Bones just feels non-binary and emo, so that works. Finn would pick Funky Kong. It just kind of fits the vibe, I think, a little bit. Aaron would pick Yoshi on the teddy bear bike with the best wheels. I believe that's like the best combo. That's what I've been told is the best combo. I love Aaron, and I feel like he would just pick the most cracked combo of cart and character because he just wants to be better than everybody else, and he is better than everybody else. Just some doodles I taped in. I have this orange spray paint that I just sprayed on this, and then I did some blind contours. I really like this one less so, but I think they're both fun. Here, Line of Action has a feature where you can do class mode, and class mode is you have 10 poses that you have to draw in 30 seconds, and then 10 poses in 1 minute for 1 minute each, and then it goes like 2 5-minute poses and then 1 10-minute one. But I started to do the 30-second ones and then I stressed myself out, so I was like, okay, pause, let me just remember that I know how to draw, and then I went back to it. I let it play normally. More of the 30-second ones. I like this one. A couple more 30 seconds. Yeah, you can tell that I was getting more of a gist of it, but then we got into the 1 minute ones. I really like these two. This one less so, but I like these two. I think 1 minute gives you like maybe the best amount of time for your sketching, but yeah, so these two, I don't like this one. This one's all right. I like this one. This is the 5-minute, and then this is another 5-minute. I like this little doodle I did of myself. I was struggling with this guy, and then here's the 10-minute one. Yeah, they're all okay. I don't feel super proud, but it is a super, like, look at how many pages I filled, and this is in the span of like 30 minutes. So if you're trying to fill your sketchbook, it's a great thing to try. Then day 28, I was getting work done on my car, and so I just had to wait in the lobby while they worked on it, and I just drew this while I was waiting, and I really like this. This was just kind of what was in front of me, the register, but I really like this. Yeah, super pleasing. I want to do more things like this in future sketchbooks. Day 29. So these are all the pages you saw me do in my last video if you went and watched that. Currently, since it's been a day now, it's got 20 views. So I think we're gonna cook. I think we're gonna become multi-million follower type people. This is a Barnes & Noble sticker. I got a CD for 30% off and I put that sticker in here. I drew my dog with my glasses on him because he's adorable and I need to draw him. Pen 15 fan art. It looks kind of janky, but I do like it. I want to draw more fan art for the show. Coe and Reese, more Coe and Reese. I like this spread. When I put it in the scanner, it just made this orange background, like neon red. It is a janky little scanner from the public library, so I'm not gonna be too mad about it. But then here's the finished goals list. I finished early, so I guess I failed. Draw a wide variety of subjects. I drew a lot more scenery and such than I ever would have anticipated, and I did it for fun, which is absolutely crazy. Work on tattoo design. I worked on mine and somebody else's. Don't worry about the quality, just do it. I said this in my last video, and I'll say it again, I don't think about the quality anymore. Especially, well, in this sketchbook especially, I did a really good job of that. I've been struggling with this in my current sketchbook though, which is so awesome. Use it like a journal. I would say I did that. Do studies. Gave myself a half credit, and I don't even think that's fair. I don't think I did hardly any studies. Like, in my head, I meant like style studies or studies of specific things, like going in depth on how arms work or something, but I did not do that. Different mediums, I did that. I'd say I did that. I was surprised by the fact that I did it at all, because in my last sketchbooks, even when I didn't have a time limit on them, I hardly ever took out anything to do a finished illustration. Develop OC lore. Yeah, lots of drawings of my characters. Really got some time to push that. And then here's the end. I do like this drawing. I said I didn't like it in the video, and while I was editing it, I was like, really? You don't like? Fully forgot I had that opinion. I think sometimes it's just, as soon as I get away from it for a little bit, I appreciate the drawing more. But here's the Shane Dawson sticker book, which I honestly kind of appreciate. Finished on June 27th, 2025. I've done this in previous sketchbook tours. I like to give a little sneak peek of my next sketchbook. Here it is. This is a Electrum sketchbooks. I've been doing ArtFight, which, like, it's gonna be cool to give a sketchbook tour of this because it does match the frame of the video. This is the page that I kind of want to show. So Reese, I redesigned her. I'm gonna try and update her design for my ArtFight. I kind of want to update all my characters, because all of my characters, I have designs of them, but nothing recent and super solid. So I want to make finished-ish drawings of them. Like this, I did a ballpoint pen sketch, and then I went in with alcohol markers, and that's perfect. That works perfect for me. I'm gonna do a scan of this later. Yeah, I really like this. These are two ArtFight things I've been doing, mostly traditional. I think I was trying to draw this digitally, and I realized that I hate digital art. I think I don't like it. Unless I have a plan for a YouTube thumbnail, I kind of hate drawing digital. Yeah, I really like the new Reese design and all that. If you want to attack me on ArtFight, my username is Soba2380. Please attack me. I revenge anybody. If things get really crazy, I won't be able to, but I will most likely revenge every person who tries to get me. I don't know when I'm gonna finish this one. I'm definitely not gonna finish it in a month. That's not my goals anymore. If you are interested, stay tuned. If you like this video, first of all, subscribe. Second of all, if you want to keep up with me in any more frequent basis than this, I have a TikTok and an Instagram. If you want to see my references, I make pretty good Pinterest boards, I think. I have a Pinterest as well. Definitely ArtFight. ArtFight is big right now. I want to get all this stuff edited and done before ArtFight is done, so then people might watch this and go, oh, I want to attack them. That sounds like fun. Or whenever somebody attacks me, I revenge them, but I usually don't get a lot of attacks, which is fine. I understand the way the game works, but thank you for watching. I'll see you whenever I do another sketchbook tour, or whenever I want to make any other type of video. So yeah, bye-bye.